This podcast is a member of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators, visit bio.link/red5.
It's Sunday.
Yes, it is.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Eh.
We got a busy chat already. I see Don, Ubaldo,
Yes.
Isaac,
Rolando
just popped in.
Yes.
Kenny's here. Welcome. As you guys can tell, we're still struggling on our Sundays.
Yes, we are.
We apologize, but
yeah,
we'll get, Nicole and Kim will get better when I'm gone because it is official. The countdown's on. I am leaving. Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What I got left? This one?
2 weeks.
No, it's 3 episodes. No, two episodes.
2 episodes. This one and the next one, and the next one you're leaving.
Yeah, this is it. My last 2 episodes.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Peace. She don't like it. I love it. Finally, she gets to run the show.
Yeah, we'll see.
After what? 3 years of letting me do it. Now you get to finally run it.
You know, oh gee, I'm hidden. Yay, I'm hidden.
Yeah, you are. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'm hidden.
Well, I just realized the camera's all messed up too.
Yeah.
Wow. It shows you how much I paid attention to things. Obviously, we've been doing too much around here and not getting things proper. I got wires grabbing the camera. You're still hidden. You have to slide over.
Oh, there we go.
It's all messed up. Geez, this is what happens. You don't live stream in a while.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
All right.
It is what happens.
Computer's still in the way.
That's okay.
Well, heck, if that's the case, we'll just change the colors.
Yeah, let's
go.
Let's do.
Rainbow.
Yes, let's do.
Not that you can see the computer no more.
But hey, it works.
It does work. Anyways, what are we talking about tonight, Kim?
We are talking about the Goofy movies, a Goofy movie and an extreme Goofy movie.
An extremely goofy.
An extremely Goofy movie.
Right,
yes.
and we're gonna have a special guest on tonight. We're gonna have Jennifer back with us.
Yep.
From Peace Love and
Peace Love Disney. Yes.
So it'd be awesome. But before that, we got a little bit of catch up to do, especially me, because last time I was on this show, we were still on a Tuesday.
Yes, you were.
So what you've been doing since the last show, Kimmy?
Well, we had the ladies' night with the princesses.
Yeah.
Then we had the chill stream.
Yeah.
And then we took 2 weeks. My schedule's changed. Yay.
Yeah, the last episode I was on was a chill stream.
Yeah, it was a chill stream. Yeah.
Yeah. So within that time, found out from Hannah that
Yes.
she don't have an exact date of her surgery yet, but she is going to have surgery
Yes, she is.
on her knee. So that means I'm pretty much out of here on the 28th, which actually is a Monday. But knowing how my parents are,
they're gonna leave.
We will more likely leave Sunday. So whatever show you guys do on that Sunday, they'll be a part of.
Yeah.
However, speaking of doing things for people, this is what we're gonna do, or I'm gonna do. Whatever shows Nicole and Kim do while I'm gone, if there's a show or something I want to talk about, when I get back, I will be making Patreon videos of me talking about that subject, or like, let's just throw one out there, like say you guys do Sound of Music.
Okay.
And I want to be able to talk about it because I've seen the movie, seen the show, enjoy it, whatnot.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Really? I don't need you to start singing.
That's what I said. Go ahead.
But so what I will do is on Patreon, I will do a video once I'm back. I'll do a lot of videos of stuff that you guys do while I'm gone.
Yeah.
In case there's stuff you guys cover that I wanted to cover.
Well, yeah.
Or wanted to be on,
Yeah.
But that's the whole fun part about about it is I can do Patreon only videos when I get back.
Yes, you can.
So, yeah.
You can.
Now, the other good thing about this
Yes.
is when I do leave, I'm more likely going to social media dark.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna turn off all notifications for Twitter, Discord, Facebook. I'm shutting all the notifications off. I want nothing to do with social media while I'm gone.
Yeah, which means we got to figure out how we're going to get me to get this out, like you get it out every week. Get the announcement out once the promo's made.
I mean, the promos that Lunar Girl does every day for every Red 5,
yeah,
the Red 5 network.
Yeah, the promos that
that's easy. I mean, mainly you just got to retweet it from Twitter.
Okay, does it automatically go to Instagram though?
No, that's a little bit different. That one's a little harder to do. If you just go in and like them,
okay. Well, I can
more than likely. Okay, let's get real about one thing. I say I'm going to do this, and then more than likely I will be on social media regardless.
You probably will.
Because we talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
When I went up for Hannah's or the birth of Case, I said I was going to go social media dark. Did I?
No.
But anyways, let's get our third co-host in here right quick. Hey, Nicole.
It's been one of those days.
Right?
It has.
And I'm like, I just want to, I kind of want to just goof off. Good thing we're talking about Goofy and Max.
Yeah.
We can goof off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going over a little bit kind of what's going to happen while I'm gone. To a point.
Oh, you mean me and Kim taking over? Yeah. Woo!
But yeah, and then like I was saying that once I'm back and you guys did stuff I wanted to do, I would just make Patreon only videos. So
yeah, so you better join Patreon, y'all.
Yeah.
Get on it.
For as little as $1.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a 7-day trial period.
There it is.
7-day trial? Y'all should get in on that.
Right. Okay. But first of all, if you want the videos,
you gotta do $5.
Yeah, you gotta do $5.
So
as much just for your little Starbucks coffee, you can give up one Starbucks coffee for one.
I have to give up a Starbucks coffee.
I don't even know how much Starbucks costs anymore, so I don't know.
It depends on if you're getting brew or if you're getting actual like fancy schmancy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? I had this guy. I was standing in line trying to get a money order. This probably a month ago now. Yeah, it was last month, I think it was. And he literally comes up behind me, and this dude is like bouncing off. I mean, I'm like, dude, calm down. You know, I'm thinking to myself, and he's like, what did I say?
I can't remember.
He had like 8 espresso or 8 shots.
Did he go to Dutch Brothers?
I don't know where he went, but he had.
I love Dutch Bros too.
Yeah,
it was like friggin' 8 or 9 friggin' shots of something.
Yeah,
I don't remember how he described it, but it was like, what the hell?
Well, if you went to Dutch Brothers, they got a 911 coffee thing where. Yeah,
I haven't been to Dutch Bros in a long time. We don't have that. I mean, I've only got it when I've been in Oregon, and yeah.
Yeah, they've got some really strong coffee that has a lot of caffeine in it. Caffeine in it, plus caffeine, other things too. But I mean, it's loaded. It is a loaded cup of coffee that would get you through the whole day, if not into the night.
You know what? I just figured out what I'm going to do in 2 weeks.
What?
I'm going to pack up a box before I leave.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to take the coffee pot with me.
Right now.
No!
You don't need it.
Yes, I do.
Nope. Cold turkey.
No.
Well, speaking of coffee, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Because I know Roe's not here, but I know he'll probably rewatch it or whatnot when he does. So I was told that this is a mug he's been wanting, and Danny from Comics and Cosmetics sent it to us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just what we need. This is what Kim needs, another coffee cup.
Hey, you gotta have a variety of coffee cups because you don't know what mood you're gonna be in that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask the cat. She knows all about it. Look at the attitude. I mean, she walked away.
Yep.
That's the mood.
So I don't remember when we were supposed to, I think it was back in what, March or April. I know it's March. March was music month. April or May, we were going to do American Graffiti, remember?
Yes.
Can't wait. We're getting our motors running now for it.
Hold on. This is going to be a funny story. Actually, it's not really funny. It's enough to make you mad. So, but Ubaldo said, hey, the anniversary of this date in August, which wasn't going to be a Tuesday.
Nope.
It would have been Tuesday, but then your schedule changed.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do it next week. However, this whole time it's been on Showtime.
Yes.
Which now Showtime is part of Paramount Plus.
Uh-huh.
So I go into the search feature, look up American Graffiti. Oh no, now it's $14.99.
It was on Netflix.
It is not on nothing like you sons of you know what. So
it was on Netflix.
Let me look at Amazon real quick. Oh look, they got it for $8.99 for the physical copy. Thank you.
Nicole said it was on Netflix. Did you check Netflix?
The theme will tell me if it's on there.
Yeah, when you won't go throughout
I
the
always
team.
double check anyways.
But yeah, so I already know I'm gonna like it because I've caught bits and pieces through the years, and it's
the cars. Oh my gosh,
exactly.
the cars.
Exactly. But anyways, that's next week. Hey R2.
Hi R2.
But let's go ahead.
Actually, speaking of R2, R2 and JT over After the Weekend are also going to be giving out their ideas and reviewing American Graffiti. So check them out on Monday nights for After the Weekend. They are awesome guys. I'm
confused now with them.
But either way, check them out because they're doing, I think, one whole month of car movies, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome. I'm actually pretty excited for that. So I'm interested in seeing the various thoughts because I know it's gonna look different because I know we've got ideas that might look different from them too. So
Are they still on Mondays?
Hi, Hannah. Yes, Mondays, and then they also like to go harder on Saturday.
That's what was confusing me. So like this, I've been seeing the ones about the harder. I'm like on Saturday, I'm like, wait, what? Like, okay. So I'm wondering when they're gonna do Debbie Does Dallas for their harder episodes.
R2, there's a question for you. I didn't ask it.
Hey, Hannah.
Well, your daughter's in the thing. You're not supposed to talk about those kind of things.
Oh, get hell.
I know, I'm just teasing. R2, Scott would like to know when you guys are going to do Debbie Does Dallas on After the Weekend Goes Harder. And then he says, "Get back to him. That'd be great."
Yeah.
They're trying to do themed months.
I don't think he's going to do that as a theme month because that'd be
interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting. Oh, there we go.
October will be stripper movies since this is the month where women have a free pass.
That is After the Weekend or After the Weekend Goes Harder.
Love it. Love it. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get into the
business part.
Kim's part of the show.
Business.
Thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl, Dragon Buddy, Don Dellis, Nich Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, Steve Long, Hannah, Mikey Brindley, and Case. Well,
it's not really new anymore, but still our newest patron.
John is
Pop My Culture, Chantal.
I know, and congratulations to her on several things.
Yes.
Well, and a happy belated birthday because we would have said it last week on it. So happy belated birthday to Shanti.
Yep. And congratulations to her and Josh.
Yep.
They're engaged.
They're engaged. I know. I'm so excited for them. They announced it on Salacious Rums, and I had a feeling. I'm like, I knew it was, I just had a feel. I had a feeling it was coming even last year when I saw her and Josh at ScarifCon, and I'm just very excited for them. And so congratulations, Josh and Shanti at Pop My Culture.
Definitely congratulations.
Join our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/usedabusedpod. And as was formerly mentioned at the beginning of the show, there is a 7-day free trial.
Regardless of what plan you go with, there's a $1 plan,
which
$1 a month, or there's this
$5 plan, which
$1 a month gets you a shout out and then showing your name in lights at the end of the show.
Yep. And then the
okay, hold it. before we move on. However, if you join after I'm gone, it will not get included into the lights at the end because of the fact that I won't have the ability to download this stuff onto this computer because I won't be here. So you have to bear with us. It'll get back once I'm back.
Yeah. And then if you go to the $5 tier, that's where you can get access to all of the videos. Like he was mentioning, any subjects that Nicole and I do while he's gone, he's going to do a special video for our Patreons at the $5 level.
Right.
Don't forget to smash the like button. And if you are new to the channel, click subscribe and then click the bell to be notified when we go live. Search Used and Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and much more.
Speaking of Apple, I finally got control of the Apple side of it.
Nice.
So now I can actually go in and look at stuff. There for a bit, we actually had 2 shows on Apple.
Yes, we did.
But luckily I reached out to Apple. They helped me out, which I had to reach out to Spotify for podcasts, which used to be Anchor, get it all figured out. Once I did, everything worked out, and now I have complete control of the original show.
Nice.
Well, you know me. I'm a Spotify girl. Anywho,
you can find Used and Abused Pod on Facebook, the Gram, and Twitter,
and Threads.
And Threads, Twitter Threads. Yes, forgot about Twitter Threads.
No, it's Instagram Threads.
Instagram Threads. Sorry.
And actually, I guess I need.
What's the point?
What's the point of what?
I don't know. We'll talk about it separately. And hello, Megan.
Oh, we're actually now we're going to.
Whoops! What the hell did I just do?
I have no idea.
I'm hitting buttons over here and things are all freaking out.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, here we go. Change that.
Yeah, because it's no longer Twitter.
Right, it's no longer.
Got renamed.
No longer Twatter.
No, it got renamed. So we're doing
Thanks
this.
a lot, Elon.
I know. And then you can email us at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com for any
Kim,
ideas or anything.
Kim's like, I don't care. I'll just look and I'll just keep moving on. There we go. That look. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. If you have any ideas, you can email us at this email address, which is usedandabusedpod.
Which I'm the only one that has access to it, right?
But can I give them another option?
Yeah, go ahead.
Discord.
That's
right. Talk to us on our Discord. We even have a channel that is just for ideas and feedback. We would love to hear your guys' ideas. Like, we really do listen to that. Like the Ubaldo had put out about American Graffiti. We listened. We were like, we moved the date from 3 or 4 months ago to next week just for American Graffiti. So we do listen. So just heads up, Discord. Find us.
Yeah.
You know how I keep live editing all this
Yes,
stuff.
I noticed. Yeah, Discord, once Scott leaves, will be the best way to get a hold of us for any ideas.
True. Or, even this too, because I'm the only one who's got access to this.
Yeah.
Hey, if you leave an email or a voicemail while I'm gone, it will get played when I'm back.
Yeah, and that's 928-719-0749.
But you gotta call first.
Yeah, you gotta call.
Obviously.
Gotta call.
And then
who are you gonna call?
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Hey, I'm excited. That movie, hopefully it's supposed to be coming out in December still, like part 2, the sequel. I'm so excited.
So I watched a couple of Instagram or YouTube videos yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
Lord.
She watched them with me. It was the guys who went to Vermont.
Yes.
And they went to what was the original locations of filming for the original Beetlejuice movie.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
However, they got to see the house rebuilt for the Beetlejuice 2. Maitland, I'm going to throw this out here. Maitland Hardware is now Rewind Coffee.
Wow.
So there you go.
And
There's a spoiler.
Coffee.
Anyways, one guy was there after they wrapped up all filming for Beetlejuice 2 for that town.
Uh-huh.
A guy was there just a week earlier, about a week earlier, and he actually got to see everything dressed up.
Yeah.
So it looks cool.
I just hope it turns out good, but we'll deal with that when it gets closer to time.
Exactly. Merch.
All right, go
I'm
to
not wearing merch. I'm wearing sidebar merch.
Oh
wear-
yeah, I got for y'all who didn't know, I just got home from work, so I didn't have time.
You
It's
know,
called
I mean,
just make sure I have clothes on and
Yeah.
just talk nerdy to me. I mean, that's
I mean-
basically what it was.
I'm wearing sidebar merch. She's wearing our merch. It's fine.
Yeah. You could go to
Oh,
tpublic.com and search for used abused pod, all lowercase, for our merch store. There are t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, face masks, onesies, coffee mugs, and etc. Go ahead.
Ooh, don't forget the coffee mugs.
That's right. We are a proud member of the Red 5 Network. Go to bio.link/Red5 to find more exciting podcasts. And believe me, there's one for everybody and every interest. Check out our Cantina family, which is Sidebar Cantina every Monday on YouTube at 5:30 Eastern. Then on Wednesday
Pantless Wednesdays.
on Pantless Wednesday on YouTube at 7:05 Eastern is ATSW The Escape Pod
with Don, Brady, and DB.
Yep. Then Stranger Things Has Happened is on YouTube, and I know Saturdays, yes, with Dawn and
which I'm still
Luna
behind.
Girl. Then Layman's Terms is also on YouTube. Also, the Orange and Fetish Spotify, and now on Apple Podcasts, iTunes. And then there's Sweet Studios and Explicit Noise, both on YouTube. So go check those channels out. As a reminder, the links will be in the show notes pinned at the top of our Twitter page. Well, not
Please get your shit together.
At the top of our X page. And go to bio.link/usedabusedpod.
And then when I got to change it live, because if I don't change it live, I'll forget to change it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
When he changed the name, it just threw everybody off and everything.
Right. All right.
And with that, business has been wrapped up. Now let's get on with the show.
Really?
On with the show.
Well, to get on with the show, we need to do one thing only. And that
We need
is,
to bring our guest in.
which is from Peace, Love, Disney, Juniper. Hey, Juniper.
Hi, everybody.
How's it
Thanks for
going?
having me again.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yay.
Anytime, especially when we're talking Disney.
that.
So, okay, Nicole, how are you doing this?
Well, I sent you photos.
Okay. So we do. There it is.
No, well, how about we start there? Yes, actually, let's start there. So we're talking about the Goofy movie and the second Goofy movie, but it's so important that we bring up the Goof Troop.
Yes.
This was an original Disney series on TV. Does anybody from the panel know as to why that was very important? Why this is important that I'm bringing this up?
No.
I don't remember.
No, I don't remember either.
So this started on, again, Disney Channel, not Disney Plus, the Disney Channel
Yep.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the 90s. And it actually is so basically the Goofy movie and the second Goofy movie are spinoffs of the Goof Troop. It's movies from that movie, from that show.
Mhm.
This inspired two movies. So, yeah. Goofy got a son? Well, yeah, Goofy got a son. But actually, technically, Goofy already had a son early on in the 1950s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
So it was just important to include because, that's just part of what it was and what it is. So
I watched that show a lot when I was there.
I did too. I liked it. Well, and if you go back and you watch them, you'll see characters that are in the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goof Troop came out in 1992. It was 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it has Max, it had Pete, it had PJ. It had a lot of the same characters that we already have. And of course, Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. So it brought that around, which was really awesome. So Goof Troop again was created by Michael Presenzа Jr. And again, it had the voices of Bill Farmer and Jim Cummings, who would also would go on to do Goofy movie and the sequel. So
Nice.
the Goof Troop opening theme was by Phil Perry. Ooh, a little bit of a tongue twister there. So yeah, cool stuff. And it was on the Disney afternoon. So it was like you came home, that's what you watched in the afternoon. So I can remember that. Like those were the early 90s. The early 90s rocked in Disney because you had the Mickey Mouse Club, you had Kids Inc., you had all this other good stuff. You had Goof Troop. You had a few things that were animated and a few things that weren't. So it all worked out.
Yep.
And Disney Channel cost you as much as HBO.
It did.
And the Goof Troop, it was kind of like how the 1950s Goofy kind of was. He still is kind of goofy like that, and like their shorts the way it was. And it was pretty cool. I think it's awesome that Goofy again. We got to see a single dad. Of course, that continues on later. And in the Goof Troop, Max is only 11 and a half years old. So they let him age, which I love. Nice. I love the fact they let them age.
Yes. Unlike The Simpsons.
I don't know if Goofy aged, but Max aged. And
unlike the fact that Simpsons are in their 20th, 30th year, and Bart and Lisa and Maggie are all still the same age.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
At least that's one good. They did let them age.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Max and PJ and all them, because I hate when they make those make cartoons or whatnot and then they never age. It's like, really, they should grow up. The whole point of different learning experiences growing up.
Yeah.
I do believe for Megan, who said she missed it, it is currently on Disney Plus, so you can go back and watch Goof Troop, and maybe you'll see a couple of things that you didn't notice before. So kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the cool thing about Disney Plus is that you can go back and look at stuff that was even made before you were born.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've done that a few times where we go back and watch even like Mickey Mouse cartoons from back.
I like to watch the original like Mickey Mouse clubs.
Yeah.
Which is its own episode in its own day.
Yeah.
Right? So. Yeah. So, well, shall we get on to the double features now that we kind of got the structure down? Mm-hmm. So it is, of course, circa again 1990. Now it's 1995. So again, the two seasons happened of Goof Troop, and now it's April 7th, 1995, and a Goofy movie came out. To the theaters, and of course we get Goofy and Max back for the main leads pretty much in a Goofy movie. Pretty
awesome. Yeah. And 95, so Hannah would have been about 2, so it's probably why I didn't know this even came out. I was too busy being an adult somewhat.
You're an adult.
Trying to be a father, not pay attention to what was coming out, and certainly I couldn't afford to go to movies. And especially when you got to travel again, 53 miles one way
or 73
the other way. I know nowadays some people will have to travel over 2-3 hours to go to a movie theater, which sucks.
Yeah, we know a few of those.
And that's why you are picky and you get picky and choosy what movies you go see.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, by 95, I would say the last movie I'd seen in the theater was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, we might be talking about that later this month, I hear.
But, by 95, that was the last movie I went to in the theater.
Thank you. So nice of you, Alfie. So the budget for this was $18 million and actually grossed over $37 million at the box office.
Nice.
Wow.
They made back what they spent out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
now
another fun fact.
Right. When they put those numbers out there, and I'm just being a little bit devil's advocate, do they put out how much like Disney spent in marketing?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just wondered if that was. I just wonder, like, when they put the estimated budget, if they actually include those numbers in there, just to because technically when it gets down to it, your budget is making the movie and then also marketing the movie. So but that's again, that's Scott just thinking, what about that? But hey, no, I mean, you never can go wrong with Goofy. I mean, there's certain characters where you make a movie and you can put them in the theater, you're not going to go wrong with them.
Well, as we get into it, you and I found out a fun, interesting fact about.
We did.
Yeah, about the perfect cast.
Oh yeah.
Perfect cast of her.
Hi, Delphi. Delphi.
The unofficial mascot. She's like, meh, and I kind of stopped her. I should have just let her finish, and y'all could have just seen her right across.
Yeah, right. I don't. I have to be quick on the solo button. She jumps up there, hit the solo button. No, she's talking about the perfect cast. The throwing the fishing line.
Yeah,
fishing.
The fishing.
And mainly, and the reason why I know why she's bringing it up because it's in. They use it in also Dreamlight Valley.
They do.
Game.
They do. When you're playing Disney's Dreamlight Valley and Goofy's, there's Elfie.
He really wants to be on air today.
Because when you see him fishing, he's doing that perfect cast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Agreed. Yes, that's towards the end of the movie. Megan brings up a good question. Agree that this is an underrated Disney classic. Do you guys feel a Goofy movie is an underrated Disney classic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a few issues in between in with it, but that's just my opinion, and I'll keep that opinion myself.
She's not gonna stay off camera tonight.
I just got home. She hasn't seen me in hours. She's just like, come on, this is my time.
Yeah.
So my question then to you guys before we really get into like really deep dive into this, what were your guys' overall thoughts about a Goofy movie?
I liked it.
That's your overall thought. You just liked it.
Well, I really liked it. It's actually trying to, I don't know how to put it. So, but it was amazing.
There. Now can you figure out how to put it?
It was just a good movie of how a parent and a child plans a vacation, and sometimes the child just does not want to go.
I agree with Megan. Definitely fun and touching.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like the fun is towards the end. Obviously, with the real fun's towards the end with the they go into the concert thing. But there is a lot of stuff in there like life lessons. I mean, a lot of stuff in there had me going. A lot of it had me questioning, like, okay, why wasn't this done, or why didn't you? I mean, I guess why when the principal called, why didn't Goofy go to Max and ask him? I mean, because that's what sure, my parents would have, and I would have, had I got a phone call from the principal, I would have been like, went to my kid and say, what the heck, and then the whole, you're ready to give your child responsibility, and I completely understand this. I mean, I can, yeah, you're ready to give your child a responsibility. My parents gave me a responsibility with having a house key. And because I was afraid I wasn't going to get used to house key, I checked myself out of school. I went to the nurse's office, the opposite. I was sick. And they said, no, you need to go back to class. Well, you had to go out the building into another door to get back to my classroom. I went out the door, went straight home. And then, of course, I did everything I was supposed to do when I got home. And then that was call people on the phone. I was supposed to when they realized you should not be home yet. But, and so that was like, Goofy giving Max the responsibility of the map.
Right.
At the time, Max had already changed it too. So, and again, looking at it, I could, going, okay, well, at that point, maybe when you're a kid, maybe you should really think about, hey, Dad, I did this, and explain why. But anyways, otherwise, I did enjoy the movie.
Oh, I did.
I mean, definitely had a lot of life lessons in there for young kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really one thing I was kind of going off of is what I took from it was the fact that it was teaching young kids that lying gets you nowheres.
Nope.
Anyways.
So I like this cult classic too. You know, from what I've read and what I've seen, to get back to Megan's question, but tying into what we're currently talking about is overall, I do like this movie. I enjoyed it as a kid. I still enjoy it now. It makes me laugh. I like the music. And it's a cult classic. You know, that's something I did see is that they called it more of like it's a cult classic.
Right.
Between this one, especially the next one, because the sequel went straight to the VHS, which we'll talk about that when we get there. So yeah.
Everybody wanted to go to a Powerline concert after.
Oh my gosh. And I heard that they kind of, so fun fact, I had heard and read that in several places that Powerline was based off of like Michael Jackson, even a little bit of Prince.
And Bobby Brown.
That's what I
You
thought.
can definitely get the feel. Yeah, I can definitely get the feel of all three of those. Bobby Brown, I mean, the outfit definitely looked like something Bobby Brown would have worn. The moves were definitely more on the line of Michael. And yeah, I mean, I got that vibe off of all of them. What?
Yeah.
Why are you getting close to me?
Well, because I don't touch.
Cooties. But yeah, no, I definitely like when I was watching that and they showed the character, I was definitely getting that Bobby Brown and definitely Michael vibe from it.
Yeah. Well, in Powerline, I'm trying to look for it. I'm being naughty. I didn't again. I got home and I had zero time to do.
That's okay. We do things live all the time.
Tevin Campbell was Powerline. He's unaccredited. That's some bull.
There's not really, because
speaking of, I mean,
unaccredited.
Since we'll talk about unaccredited, I mean, how about the fact that, I mean, when we're watching him, like that character right there reminds me of Pauly Shore.
Oh, we will totally talk about that, but I think we should talk a few minutes about music since we're on to Powerline.
Okay, and I'll come back to that vibe.
Exactly.
We actually looked it up.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that the score was done by Carter Burwell. And of course, the big songs that we all know, you know, is Stand Out. You know, and then there's, I'm trying to think of the other songs but that was the big one. Stand Out. But yeah, I'm still waiting to like Jennifer, I'm waiting to go to that concert. Stand Out. Of course, there's other songs included, like On the Open Road and Lester's Possum Park and Nobody Else But You. But Lester's Possum Park, if I'm correct, and Jennifer probably can confirm, I think that was actually inspired by the Brown Bears, right? Country Bears from Disney parks.
I think I heard that, but not for sure.
Oh, wow. I actually went to that attraction when I went to Disneyland in 92. So
I mean, obviously possums, not bears, but their own little. I like how they kind of like teased its own thing. You know what I mean? Like made fun. I'm glad that they didn't take themselves so seriously that they were like, I mean, there's not a lot of songs on this, on the open road, and again the possum song and Nobody Else But You. So it was, not a lot, but I guess because the power line is what took it, it just kind of made it beginning to the end. So, oh man, I think we might have some additional photos of some of the other characters that are in a Goofy movie.
Got it.
And I do also have some fun facts about the Goofy movie too.
Cool.
Want to go through that?
Well, I know this one thing right here that they're talking about the costume worn by Powerline is a parody of the yellow hazmat costumes worn by Devo circa 1977-78.
Oh, wow.
See, and I had heard everything I've always read has always been about again, Michael Jackson or.
Well, I mean, I can understand where they're coming from with the costume because it's yellow. I mean, it reminds me of their Oh yeah, I mean, because that's what Weird Al ended up doing later on.
Yeah.
He did the same, Dared to Be Stupid's music video. He wore hazmat suits, so I can see where they're coming from. He did kind of look like a hazmat suit, but again, the way
to me though, I also thought about MC Hammer. Looking back, the early MC Hammer, like Hammer Time with the hammer, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still felt like it was still more closer to MJ. So.
Right. I mean, because I mean, as far as the suit would go, it would definitely be right around, right shortly, a few years after You Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
Where MC Hammer's constantly wearing a parachute pants.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Fulcrum Standout is probably one of the best original songs Disney ever made. Yeah, it's definitely a good one. It's catchy.
It is.
It sticks in your head for a while.
All right, who do we have next, Kim, in the carousel?
One more on the. I just found this trivia. Back to the music real quick. The Powerline songs were recorded at Prince's studio in Paisley Park.
What?
Rose Gaines, a member of Prince's group, has a solo in song. Is it or I2I? And the backup singers,
yeah,
the backup singers were the gospel singers, the Waters.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Nice. That's a really good fun fact. That's a good one, Scott.
Yeah. And did you want to add any fun facts, Jennifer? Because you said you had.
Yeah, I do. Okay, let's see. The Goofy's car that you see in the movie during the trip is a yellow between 1975 through 1979 AMC Pacer, and which has 8-track player in it, even though the movie was taken in place in the 90s. Also had a manual sunroof. Steve Martin was actually considered to play Goofy.
I'm so glad they did not. I'm glad they kept with the original.
Right.
Yeah. And then if you look closely at the school theater when he is trying to perform, you can see at the backstage set of Peter Pan. Yeah. And at the Goofy photo shoot, there are plushes of Simba and Bambi.
True.
I see. Yeah.
And this movie was nominated for the Best Animated Feature, Best Production, Best Storyboard, Best Music, and Best Animated at the 23rd Annie Awards. Wow. It did a lot better than what Disney thought it was going to be, basically.
Right. When it premiered in the theaters, it was second. It only was beaten out by the action thriller Bad Boys.
Awesome.
I mean, technically, it was top notch when it came to the kids because they were there. So.
Yeah.
And fun fact, I love. So this is so funny to me. As a kid, I always got Goofy's job was so interesting to me because it was like he's doing photography. And Jennifer knows this about me, but fun fact is that later on in my life, so about I don't know, 8 years down the road after this movie came out, I actually worked in a portrait studio. I did studio photography for over 10 years. So I've actually worked in that. So now when I watch it now, it's like I get all nostalgic because not just from watching it as a kid, but also from the years that I've actually been in photography and gone, oh my God, I know what that setup's like. I know what those rollers are. I know what that is. And it's just, so it's always, that part always gets me. So, all right. Who do we got next? Anyone ever question why?
Good question, Fulcrum. Anyone ever question why Goopy is normal and Poodle is a pet, but they both are dogs? I've always wondered that a little bit, but never really went deep into it.
Have you ever seen anything on that?
Except that, both of them are dogs, but
have you ever seen anything
they never say why. Yeah, they never said why they had it done it that way.
We don't know. You know what? I guess Fulcrum Entertainment, I guess maybe we have to read all of Walt Disney's books or find his hidden journal or something because maybe Bill Farmer.
Maybe some animator out there knows the answer who used to work with him. Why they decided that.
Well, Bill
TV.
Farmer looks like Bill Farmer's still with us alive. So I mean, maybe we can somehow KTV or maybe he would know. And Bill Farmer is the voice of Goofy. So maybe he knows. I don't know. Maybe that's something that Walt himself took to his grave.
Yeah.
That is sweet. I'm sorry. They're at Pantera. That is freaking cool.
Nice.
I love how he says it's a mental health therapy session. Yeah!
Mental health, exactly. One fun fact I just found out, that transformation in Max into Goofy in the beginning of the movie, it was inspired by an American Werewolf in London.
Oh wow!
Which I found that because that's one of my favorite horror. That was like my first really horror movie I ever watched.
It's a good movie.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like, wow, Disney's really pulling. I mean, for them to pull for something like that is really cool.
Yeah, that's really good animators paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, to get back to your question, we had Goofy before. Now we've got Max.
Yeah, now it's Max. Max is voiced by Jim. Not Jim Cummings. That's somebody else. My bad. Wait a minute. Oh, Jason Marsden, and Max's real name is Maximilian.
Yep.
So, and again, he's 14 in this movie.
Yes.
So, up next.
Okay, I got it. No worries.
No worries for the rest of your days. Oh, Roxanne.
Yes. Max's love interest.
Yes. And she's voiced by, at the time, this was a very big actress at the time, and her name was Kelly Martin. She had been doing a TV series. She had been doing another show called Christy, and she was a really big actress at the time, and she voiced Roxanne.
Yeah.
And I love how she brought the innocence and love in this, I don't know, there's something so innocent and sweet about this character, about Roxanne. I love Roxanne.
Her dad's a whole different follower.
I was just thinking the same thing, but we know how dads can be.
Yeah.
Right, Dad? Right, Dad? We'll see if he says anything in that chat. Right, Scott?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dads. We're talking about dads being protective of their daughters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had this elaborate thing. If I would have stayed living about a mountain, Hannah would have brought over the first boyfriend. It would have been clean shotgun, clean guns all over the place. Taken apart with one just together, and just be cleaning them and talking to them.
Right.
That was my whole deal. This is what's going to happen when she brings her first boyfriend over to meet me.
Yeah, you can't forget grandpas. Grandpas can be the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, Grandpa Louie. Yes. And my dad says right and very. But with Roxanne, okay, I'm gonna skip ahead past the sequel. In my brain and in my world, in my imagination, and actually I know I'm not the only one. I've seen a lot of people actually do fan art of this, that Max ended up with Roxanne in the long run. We'll talk more about whether there was a love interest there or not for Max once we get to the sequel. But in my brain, in my world, my imagination, to this day, Max ended up with Roxanne, because there's even fan art out there of their child.
So I'm gonna say this. I know we're not into the second one yet, but for me, after watching the first one and then starting the second one, I'm going, okay, his love interest is still gonna be Roxanne, and then all of a sudden she's not there. I'm like, excuse me, we missed something here.
We'll get there, Scott.
I know, but I mean, even for me, I was like, what?
Well, the whole vacation was planned by Goofy to go to Destiny Lake in Idaho, and he was trying to go to the Powerline concert because he wanted to
I love how Kim like jumped right back on the actual bandwagon. Way to go, Kim. Way to go for getting us back on track.
The thing is, Max would never been in this situation had he not told Roxanne he was going to be at the Powerline concert. That Goofy knew.
Max should have been honest.
Exactly.
He should have been honest, yes, but he had love, he had hearts in his eyes for Roxanne, so he told her a lie to impress her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that lie usually comes back and bites you.
And it did, but
to a point.
He wanted to let her know that he didn't want to break their first date, and this is what he was gonna do.
As you get older, you understand Goofy's side a little bit more.
Yeah.
And when you're little, you're like, oh, come on, Goofy. Let Max, do this for Max, And then when you get older, you're like, oh, come on, Max, do this for your dad.
Exactly.
I think that's where a lot of it for me. I mean, obviously, I'm seeing this for the very first time. I'm going to be 52 in September. Yeah. And, I'm watching this going, first of all, and I remember we were watching when we were watching the first one. I'm hitting pause. I'm like, I'm sorry. If that principal told me that I'm gonna go talk to my kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out from my son or daughter if their side of it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have it, and then we're gonna figure this out. But it's like, Goofy's always gonna be now. Max gonna be a criminal and all this.
Goofy always overthinks things.
Well, I know
Okay?
that. But at the same time, part of me, my brain is going, no, I would have done this, and this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Yes. Oh, Nicole froze, so she's got to pop back in. It looks like.
Where are we? I got it.
Yeah, restarting my laptop. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, cool. All right. Let me see. I know I found another fun act. So you watch. Real quick, the song title to I was inspired by Prince's song title, such as "I Would Die for You," which is off Purple Rain.
Oh wow!
Also, one thing that they mentioned here: the cast recorded together, which is rare for animated films and TV shows.
Holy cow!
I mean, there's a lot. I love IMDb. Because they give you, there's a lot of good trivia stuff in there. I mean, obviously, your hopefully is truthful.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
If anyone wants to know the release date, it was April 7th, 1995.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
April 7th. Wow.
Yeah.
And did we say directed by? I can't remember.
I don't remember if she did or not.
Yeah.
It was directed by Kevin Lime.
Okay.
Who directed the movie.
You're back.
I understand.
I'm back.
Okay. I understand technology when it works. It's great. When it don't, it sucks.
Doesn't. I know. I'm like, say what?
Yeah.
As we all know, I had trouble the last time I was on here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That one time you probably could have won a game and you refused to hit restart. We waited for you.
I kept hoping it would get better. But oh well.
Okay.
Life goes on.
Yes.
3/4 of the movie had to be refilmed, pushing the release date beyond the initial Thanksgiving '94 release. In those early days, you'd set up a camera looking at a large monitor and you'd film that monitor. Director Kevin Lima explains. One of the pixels were blown out and every single scene in the movie had a black dot in it.
Oh my.
Oh, that would suck.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That would suck. Can you imagine you just sitting there watching, you're filming off this, the things, and all of a sudden you go back to, go in the editing room to watch it, and now you see a black dot in every scene.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Anyways. We're waiting. Okay, Nicole, which way are we going now?
Oh. I was responding to Megan.
Oh.
Still waiting for my prize.
When it ships. It will ship when it ships.
Well, let's see, Megan. Here's the thing: is it's got to make it to the USPS first, and then from there it's going to go down to Florida. It's going to be launched on a SpaceX rocket to the International Space Station. Then it's got to come back to Earth, which then it will go to another UPS or USPS location, and then you be taken by stagecoach and horse across the country.
I like how you included horse. A horse.
Well, I keep every time I turn around, I'm getting these news feeds about USPS shutting down this location, that location, this distribution center. And it's like, what are you guys trying to do? Get us back to the Pony Express?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, it might actually be faster to Pony Express.
Or Megan says.
What? Not as bad as Pixar's Toy Story issue, though. Erasing most of the movie.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Um,
I got something that's been on a rocket. Nice.
Fun fact, while we still have Roxanne pulled up, in the newer the DuckTales in 2017, there is a small cameo of Max and Roxanne.
There
Nice.
it is.
Yeah, it's in Goofy's wallet. So
Yep.
just a fun fact. And speaking of Donald and Mickey are also a part of the movie. They make a cameo inside of a Goofy movie.
Yes,
So
they
I just
do.
thought I would throw that out there.
Yeah, it's during the On the Road song.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Trying to see if I. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, PJ.
Yeah, PJ.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you.
And he's voiced by Rob Paulson. PJ's very.
Not like his dad.
He's not like his dad.
No.
He's
No.
nothing like Pete. However, he's also very it's like he stands up for himself, but he doesn't at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he just kind of you know.
Yeah,
And hey, at least he dances while he cleans.
that's
Because
true.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, and his dad takes camping to a whole new level.
Oh yeah,
that,
they do.
That is glamping. That is glamping.
It's glamping.
I mean,
They
That's
began
glamour.
glamping before it was a thing.
Right?
exactly. I mean,
Uh,
they've got a bowling alley, a
Oh my
theater.
gosh.
I mean, all the comforts
Now-
of home.
I know. I'm literally watching that scene going, you know, as much as I love camping, going, you know, with a tent and stuff, if I could have that RV, yeah, I would be out.
So PJ was actually also in the Goof Troop. He is Max's best friend. So he's been around since 1992. However, technically, we first saw him in 1942. But in regards to this, 1992, he's been around. So it's really cool to have. I like the fact that they kept his best. I am, hold on. Let me rethink my words here. I am glad they kept some of the original material. They kept his best friend. They did not give him Max a new best friend. They kept PJ. You know what I mean? They kept things and, let them kind of work themselves out. And that was nice. Including in the next one. PJ's still his best friend. That's his right. PJ is the ride or die.
Yes.
That is Max's ride or die.
Definitely.
I can see PJ being the godfather of any of the children that we know Max and Roxanne had. See, where's Disney? Why are they not giving us any Max and Roxanne stuff? They could have totally. They need us to come work for them. Seriously.
Yes, they do.
They got to pay first. We ain't cheap.
It's true. So,
Ready for me to move on to photos?
I was just looking to see if there was any other fun facts that I missed. Actually, also, PJ also made an appearance in DuckTales, so it's 2017. Just kind of fun fact again.
Awesome.
There's some stuff in there. I'm gonna have to go. I love DuckTales, but I'm not watch the new stuff. I'm a nostalgic girl.
I agree with you, Nicole. I wouldn't watch it.
But now I kind of want to, because I'm like, wait, we are
Nicole.
missing out on all of our friends like being there, you know. So fun fact, Max and PJ share some unique traits among Disney characters who are affiliated with the Mickey Mouse universe. Both debut in the animated shorts with a different look and are sons instead of nephews, and we see them grow up and become adults over the course of their appearances. So fun fact about PJ and Max.
Yeah, because we ever see, was it Huey, Dewey, Louie?
Yeah, Huey.
Yeah.
Did they ever grow up?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they went to Neverland. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have, because you go to Neverland, you ain't growing up there.
Yeah, no. Of course, PJ's full name is Peter Pete Jr.
Yep.
So known as Pete Jr. There you go. Another fun fact. His name was also given as PJ Pete at the D23 Expo in 2015. Yada yada yada. Yeah. There we go.
Yada yada yada.
Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Okay. Oh, sorry about the mic.
I'm pretty sure I know who's next, and you're gonna love who's next. It should be who I'm thinking is. Yeah. All right, Scott, take it on, because I know you had a fun fact that you were trying to share earlier, and I said,
yeah. I mean, as soon as this character started talking, I'm like, dude, that is got to be Pauly Shore, and I'm just like, so I'm looking things up, right, and finally I come across this fun fact where Pauly Shore actually went uncredited because he didn't want Disney to use his name to promote the movie. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Leaning Tower of Jesus.
Oh gosh, I love it. The thing is like I'm hearing every time he's talking, I'm hearing all these different movies, you know, Son-in-Law,
great. I love Son-in-Law.
Encino Man, and all these different movies that Pauly Shore, Biodome. I'm hearing him and everything, you know, around this time, and it's like, oh my gosh, I know this is Pauly Shore. I know that voice. I know him.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, to find out it was actually Pauly Shore, I was really happy.
Mm-hmm.
And the character, I mean, the character perfect to Pauly Shore too.
I know, and it's so funny because anytime Max and PJ ask him to do something, all he wants for a payment is cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Z.
It's funny that you mentioned cheese, because this is a fun fact, and I don't even know why it's considered a fun fact, but it is. While many have compared Pauly Shore's performance of Bobby, loud and easygoing personality, to a stoner, the only thing we actually ever see Bobby eating is cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got him high. He was high on cheese, people.
So I agree with him.
Yeah, and you've also, I think we're all in agreement with you.
Although, yes, I never want to grow up.
Well,
I'm a
I
Toys R Us kid.
And I think that Pauly Shore really did bring this additional fun and unique type of personality that really helped bring it all together. You know, because you have Goofy, who's been around forever, right? And you have technically Max, who's been around forever, but not in the same way. And so it's like it brings this different quirkiness to the movies that we really didn't have, maybe in the show, or we didn't see in the past with Disney. And I think that really showed. And I think that's why people like this character, because he's different, he's unique, and he's fun. I mean, we'd all want to be his friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, PJ is the ride or die. You know, Max is the one you can also call, and you know you're gonna get a hold of him as an adult. And I'm not gonna say it, maybe that was a kid. And then you got this dude who you're like, he may not seem like that way, but you know he is. You know he's probably we know he's loyal because we see him in the next movie, and we know that he's around.
Yes.
Maximilian.
Right.
Yeah, no, like I said, when that character came in and started talking, I went, dude, that's Paul. I mean, I just knew it. I just knew it. And again, I literally just named my 3 favorite Pauly Shore movies. I'm sure there's other ones I forgot, but those are my top 3 I will always watch all the time.
Pauly Shore was really big at this time. Like, so for me, it was a win-win. I had seen Son-in-Law, and then I saw that. Like, I don't know which one came first at the current moment, but I just remember being excited because Pauly Shore, you know, and he's funny. Y'all okay up there?
No, we're just dying.
Okay, we're just checking.
Okay.
Yeah, my first for Pauly Shore, first movie I remember seeing him in was Encino Man.
Same here.
And then Son-in-Law, and then Biodome. And I loved the characters he played. I just love him as an actor. You know, he to me, he's a genius.
Yeah.
But then again, I also said the same thing about Jim Carrey back in Once Bitten. Most people don't like Once Bitten, but I love that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally see most of everything that became Jim Carrey in that movie.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways. All right.
Right.
Oh,
Roxanne.
Yeah.
So of course Roxanne had a friend too named Stacy. But here's a really cool thing. This is what I like about Stacy. For those who don't know, fun fact, Stacy was played by Jenna Von Oy. I think I said that wrong, and I'm sorry if I didn't. I'm gonna show a quick up-screen picture of her. She was in the show called Blossom in the early 90s. And she was 6. She played as 6. She played as Blossom. And so when I saw this character, I'm like, oh my God, it's 6. This is 6 from Blossom. And they did the hat with the 90s flower and everything. So Stacy is very 90s, and I love it.
I was looking at her going, this character looks familiar to me for some reason, and it just wasn't jumping. And now you said it. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely remember 6 from Blossom.
I love this picture because it's her and Roxanne, but it's like you can tell she is supporting her friend. She's literally looking at her. You know, she's 100% supporting her friend. And I love it.
Well, I think it's, the one thing I like here is the fact that Roxanne and Max are actually more of the same than what they think they're not, but they're actually the same. They're both hella shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to kind of be pushed into the, they'll talk to each other, which is
encouraged.
Encouraged,
yeah. Come on, let's go.
And and that's one thing I liked about it, because like they are both the same way.
Yeah. And it took Stacy to encourage Roxanne, and it took can't remember PJ or Bobby, one of them. It was both of them to encourage Max. Go talk to her. Go talk to her.
I mean, that's the reason why we got to the principal's office in the first place, because Max, Max did the power line parody type thing, and
in the gym.
But I'm sorry. I'm with the rest of the kids like, yeah, screw your principal. We don't want to hear you.
Exactly.
Leave.
Move.
I mean, how many school assemblies have you been to where the principal gets up there and starts talking and you're like, shut up.
Me.
Shut up.
Me.
Please shut up. Or have a teacher come up. Or here's me in my school when it would happen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And he's my friends like, dude, you're snoring. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't freaking care.
I know.
I didn't want to hear the principal talk.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
Moving on.
So we were actually, this is the perfect timing because we were just talking about how shy they both were.
Yeah.
And how they kind of both had to be encouraged by both of their friends to get it together and talk to each other. And I love how he's looking at her, she's looking at him, and there's just that moment. This is throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
I am glad that at least he did get his dad, he got Goofy to stop to at least talk to her, to let her know he didn't just like ghost her.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I love how the ending happens. Although he should have told the truth.
He should have.
He
should have, yes. I agree. But he was in love with Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be cool. Try to be cool.
Yes, he was trying to impress his girl.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I can't be here to watch because she's now thinking, well, he don't want to be with me. And then it's like, no, it's because I'm actually going to the concert and I'm going to be on stage.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, really, Max?
Like, Max, buddy. just be cool, man. Just be cool.
Well, it was like, and we brought it up earlier with PJ when him and Max got together, when the RV parked on top of Goofy's tent. And the fact that even PJ already knows, dude, that's so cool. You're going to the Powerline concert, going to dance with them.
Yeah.
And like,
and then Max says, how did you know? Oh, everybody knows about it.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, I mean, I understand, kind of a bigger area, but it sounded like small town life.
Yeah, it did.
Also, because, I mean, and that's why our school, really, when you go to school, you are in a small town in a way, because everyone in that school kind of hears everything.
Yeah, they do.
And it's like, oh my gosh, this is even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, they're such a cute couple.
They are.
I know. I'm telling you guys, they are like together. I just know it. Just know it.
Later, Megan. Later, he technically is at the concert.
We're getting there, Megan.
Okay, so so I just added a new photo.
Oh.
If you want to show that first. Bigfoot. We gotta talk about Bigfoot.
Oh,
guys, we gotta talk about Bigfoot, okay? And if R2 is still in the chat, please tell JT. This is why I love Bigfoot. Now I think about JT every time I see a Bigfoot. Again, JT is after the weekend. And of course, Bigfoot makes an appearance.
This gave me so many Harry and Henderson vibes.
Oh my God, right? I loved it because I love Harry and the Hendersons.
I do too.
I do too.
But I love is that when he was dancing and singing, he's on the, he was doing his thing and jamming out. Loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
And it was so funny because here, Pete's trying to cook dinner here, a whole elaborate dinner of steaks and whatever. Goofy's doing the perfect cast, hits the steak, gets it over to Bigfoot.
That's the funny part, is the fact that he does the perfect cast, grabs the friggin' steak off of Pete's friggin' grill. Pete's like,
what happened?
And then it goes all the way across the water.
Yeah.
Lands near Bigfoot, and all of a sudden Bigfoot's like, whoa.
Ooh, tries to pick up the steak, and when he picks it up, Goofy's going, I caught one. It's a big one.
It was a big one, all right.
And then Bigfoot at the end. I love this part.
Yeah, I love when they're that whole music thing when he's listening to their music and stuff that cracks me up. And Bigfoot was played by, I think it was Phil Weltner. I hope I said his name right properly.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, this scene really got you get laughing hardcore on this one, and then Goofy and Max, and again, this is where Max decides, while Bigfoot is sleeping on the car, and they all go to sleep, Max wakes up and decides to that the map pulls out of the field and change the route, which I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yep.
And changes, because he's thinking, his dad's a goof, and he's not going to realize that it's been changed.
Yeah.
Not knowing that eventually he was going to get the responsibility to, but what did Hannah say here?
Dakota and I are watching this movie after the podcast is over.
And I said our work here is done.
Yep.
Yep. And Megan, real quick, I say this so I can bring it up. Tell me that you wouldn't have done the same as Max if you were in his situation and wanted to impress your crush. I'm not saying it's right, just that it's relatable. I agree.
I do.
To a point. Obviously, I'm looking at the fact going, unless my dad was Goofy, then I probably would have done exactly the same.
Yeah.
But me knowing who my father is, going, yeah, this would not work one bit. Because the minute he realized I changed the map, the minute I would probably have found the grave. Not saying he would have really killed me, but you never know. Oh yeah, no, yeah, Rogue One or not Rogue One. Rebel Rock Radio is doing some cryptid series. But yeah, no, JT and R2 from After the Weekend.
You're right. That's what I was talking about. So.
But yeah, no.
Well, and I think for me though, this Bigfoot was one of my favorite scenes for some odd reason. Like in the sense of funniness, other than the cheese leaning shower, Jesus. Bigfoot was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, it was definitely a great scene. I mean, good Lord. It's comical the whole. I mean, because chasing them and the thing they're gonna be able to get away, and all of a sudden Bigfoot's like shaking the keys. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it was that I definitely got a lot of Harry and Anderson vibes off of it.
I did, yeah.
Me too.
I was just kind of waiting for just for the heck of it, because sometimes they do this, especially with animation. I was just waiting for John Lithgow's character from Harry and Henderson to come out, Mr. Harry Henderson come out and go, Harry, come on, no, let's go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's just me. I mean, that's just the beauty. I would like to see once in a while, but sometimes it's too obvious if you did something like that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, now go back to the can soup. So because for those who watch the movie, see, this whole thing and this argument had taken place between Max and Goofy. And this is so sweet.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably the sweet moment of the movie.
It is.
That is when Goofy had mentioned how Max used to create words in his soup for him. And that was how he knew that he loved him. I'm like, oh, And I like it that he created the words, hi, Dad.
Yep, the hi, Dad soup.
Hi, Dad. It's cute.
Uh-huh.
It is cute. Yes, and you definitely get that. Yeah, you get that moment, the choked up moment, because of the fact that you're looking at Goofy's thinking of Max back when we all do the same thing. We think of our kids when they're in their teens. We think of them when they were in their toddler years and up through their early going to school stuff, up to 6-7 years old, and then when they're teenagers, you're like, oh my gosh, I missed them when they were younger.
Yeah,
this is such pain in me. Can we just somehow freeze them at that lower level?
Yeah.
What? Freeze us at the lower level? No.
Just leave them at that 6-7 years old area where they're still innocent and not being a pain in the ass.
I don't know what that is at all.
Because Lord knows, especially when they become teenagers. Oh Lord.
We can talk about that another time. I want to just goof off and have fun with Goofy. Goofy.
But yeah, no, this moment here was definitely, it was touching, because
it
was one of those things where again, Goofy was bringing up what he used to do, and then Max did it again.
Well, yeah. After he took the lighter from the car, put the soup on there, and that's how he cooked the hi, Dad soup.
I know. And for those who don't know, once upon a time, cars had lighters in them.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Now there's this area where you stick your friggin' charger in for your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much the things that used to be where the lighter is now where you have all the extra stuff that it plugs in your car.
And then Goofy says, I knew this would come in handy for something.
Which is ironic when you think. I mean, even in '95, for them to even still show it as a car lighter. In a Disney movie, is kind of shocking.
Yeah, it was.
In a way.
It was.
Because by then, you had all the anti-smoking stuff going around and stuff.
Yeah.
But
right.
Again, but Goofy showed him a different way of using it.
Exactly. Use it as a stove.
I'm just wondering how many of those kids later in life that had an older car that had a car lighter and went and actually tried that.
I don't know.
Because you're gonna be doing that for a little while.
Yes, you are.
I mean, yeah, it gets really hot. I mean, first of all, I want to see you balance that sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because most of them that I remember were always rounded on the end,
They were.
bubbled out, so you wouldn't get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyways, moving on.
I'm still here. I'm just quickly adding some extra stuff in.
Well, we just jumped.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, I didn't put that. I must have put that out of order. Whoops, my bad.
Hold on a minute.
There's
Power line.
there's the I think I did a picture of them. Yep. This
The
was a
perfect
big
cast.
moment. Was this the perfect cat or
Yeah.
This was the perfect cast.
Mhm.
so also in the same area, but also at some point this is when they went downstream and they got into that argument about the map and the truth and life lessons, right, Scott?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoops. Definitely life lessons. You know, I mean, Goofy's trying to, teach the son how to fish and stuff, and the fact that at this time Max is like still trying to figure out how to get to LA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He don't care about it. He don't want to fish. He wants to be
At the
in LA
Powerline
at Powerline concert for
yeah.
to
To show his girl.
Yeah.
To
Mhm.
impress his girl.
right.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I don't know where this goes next, but and I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but like when they're in the truck stop and they're eating, and Goofy gives him the Max, decides at that moment, hey, I'm gonna give my son responsibility.
Yeah.
And that is a moment where parent, and again, I remember those points where you're ready to, okay, I'm gonna give you a responsibility.
Yeah.
As a and when you do that, you're just hoping the hell it don't backfire on you.
Yeah.
You know it could.
Yeah.
But you're just hoping it doesn't.
Yeah. And I don't know where we're at in the movie, but that Neptune motel, oh my gosh.
Mhm. Mhm.
That was something different, that Neptune motel.
Mhm.
Oh, is that with the possum?
No, that was after he gave Max responsibility and says, well, I'll go where you want us to go, navigator.
Oh, yeah.
That's when PJ and Pete showed up, and Pete like, oh, it's just one cord.
Yeah, and but yeah.
But that's when Pete had heard Max tell PJ that he actually changed the map.
Yep. Yeah.
And Pete went and told Goofy. Goofy actually didn't want to believe him, but then he decided to check the map in the car and find out the truth, which for me, now see, compared to Goofy just goes and lay down and that's it. Don't talk to Max and whatnot. Me, on the other hand, I would have walked in that room and I would have went off. I mean, my father would have done the same to me. I know it. But again,
but it was before the
you can't
possum
really do
thing.
this. Right. I don't know. So
I mean, the possum thing was before all that, yeah.
Let's see what pictures next. Max, PJ, and Bobby.
Yeah. I think they had such a great friendship.
Yeah.
Both in both movies. And again, this is actually earlier in the movie. This is when they're still together. Again, this one's out of order, but I felt it was very important that we still highlight their friendship. Their friendship was wonderful. Again, PJ to me is the ride or die for Max, and he's going to be the godfather of his kids kind of thing. Right. While, again, Bobby is this just quirky, fun, but very loyal friend. Very loyal.
Yeah, and this one is actually when they're preparing to do that big performance they're going to do the assembly.
Show
Much.
Which is another thing we didn't bring up. When Max goes into the Powerline mode, he isn't clumsy and like and goofy or like his dad or whatnot.
No,
he is a very good dancer. He's very good singing, can do all this other stuff, but it's like an alter ego. But there's a lot of people who, even current musicians, are like that.
Yeah,
where once they get on that stage, they're a different person.
Yeah, they are.
You know, one I can think of right offhand, and the only reason why I know this because I read his book. That is Paul Stanley. When he put on the makeup of Kiss, at least one of the lead singers of Kiss, when he put the makeup on for Star Child, he became that Star Child character.
Yeah, he did.
He was no longer Paul Stanley, as he would say, nerdy kid.
Yeah.
You know, so kind of
he was a Star Child rocker.
Right. And over time, he learned how to combine the two to where now there's no difference.
Yep. But yeah, this whole idea was because he originally this is when he first wanted to impress Roxanne.
Yeah. And then we get to the point after.
Yes.
I know the only photo we got left is the power line one. So
before we start switching it all around.
We get to the point where Max has got to make the decision.
Yes. He
left or right.
Yes.
Right takes him to Idaho.
Left takes him to LA. Yep. And Goofy kept saying, "Our junction's coming up, Max. Which way? Left or right? Left or right? Need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up going left. And this is shortly after they leave the Neptune Motel, which their waterbeds were literally waterbeds with fish in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stop at the Grand Canyon.
And then stop at the Grand Canyon on the look over, and didn't put the brake on the car, so the car takes off.
Well, that's after Max leans on it.
Yeah, after Max leans on it, the car takes off, goes right down the hill, so him and Goofy are chasing this car.
Which, again, you got a lot of good throwbacks to a lot of things that we've seen through Disney cartoons, or even Goofy cartoons, or even any cartoons actually, where the car hits the guardrail and it expands out, out beyond the cliff, and you're like, and you're laughing because that's what a cartoon is for. Is to get you laughing and know that that can't happen in real life, but it's hilarious.
So then
or when they get on the car finally and.
They're floating down the river.
No. They realize the door's locked.
Yeah.
Can't get in.
Nope.
So then Max gets in. Yeah. But...
through the sunroof. Through the sunroof. He gets in through the sunroof, unlocks the door. Then Goofy comes in. Then he tries to get the car under control. And they wind up in the river. Floating down the river.
Yep.
Which they really should have got the money, got the rights to Proud Mary at that moment.
Yeah, that's what
yeah, maybe.
So then they just keep floating, and Max is now telling him exactly what's going on and what has happened and everything, and they're fishing with their bare feet, and Max brings up a small fish, Goofy brings up a huge fish. And then that's when that song comes in, that Eye to Eye song. And then as they float, float through caves and everything, and then all of a sudden, you see a waterfall.
Yeah.
And it's like,
excuse me,
danger, waterfall. So then,
danger.
Yeah. Then they go down the waterfall. Max is holding on. Goofy goes down the waterfall, and then Max does the perfect catch and catches Goofy and wheels him up.
Yeah.
So, that was quite comical there. And I think shortly after that, they end up at the Powerline concert.
Yep.
So, and then that's when.
Hey, I see Andrew from Science Fictionary.
Hi,
hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I don't see Ro in the chat, but Megan mentioned Ro, so I'm not sure if he is. Hey, Ro, if not, we'll see. Hey, Ro, you got a shout out. All right. Well, should we get wrapping up so we can get started on an extremely goofy movie?
Yes.
Powerline.
Powerline's down at the very end. Nope. Goofy and Max right there. Nope. You missed it. Right there. Nope, right there.
Power line.
Power line. This is the Power Line concert
This
that
is basically towards the end now.
Yes, that he promised Roxanne he would be at. He hadn't showed up yet. And they're at Stacy's house watching this, and Roxanne is going, he's not going to show up. And Stacy says, yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Just pay attention. He will. He said he would. He will.
I'm so excited that it worked out.
I
Like,
am
one, kudos to Goofy for making this happen.
Right.
He stepped it up. He's an awesome dad. And even if he knew Max, I think he was teaching Max a lot of really cool life lessons. And it's just awesome that they still made it work.
Yeah.
And then they had, I loved all the moves. I loved it.
Yeah, especially when Goofy ends up on the stage and Max yells, the perfect cast, Dad.
Yeah. Right. And it worked out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in one of the previous, pictures with Stacy and Roxanne, she's watching and like, there's the boy I like.
Yeah.
And of course, technically, the last thing really of the movie, of course, is Roxanne and Max. When he goes and visits her at the end. But I feel like this is a big moment for Max and Goofy. And man, you would think, again, we're going to be talking about Max and Goofy again in Extremely Goofy movie. And I feel like this is one of those moments where I'm surprised that Max never went. My dad got me to Powerland and got me on TV. And you would think that would be forever yelled out, right?
Yeah.
And forever cherished and loved on. And, it's one of those stories, though, I can also see, like, Max and Roxanne telling their kids, like, yeah, Grandpa Goofy, like, took your dad to Powerline. And, hey, you want to tell your dad, hey, Max, you want to tell your kids the truth? You know what I mean? From the mom of the truth now, like, about that.
Yep. Yeah. And then, like you said at the very end, where they pull back up, and all Goofy can say was, "Well, at least the car made," and it goes. and then he's talking to Roxanne, and Goofy ends up going through the top of the porch, and Max says, "Roxanne, this is my dad, Goofy."
Yeah, right. Typical Goofy.
Yeah, what a way to meet your son's love interest. Up right in through
if you're gonna do it right. And I think
exactly.
So, all right. Well, it's double feature time, I think. Does anybody have any last, like, really cool, fun thoughts about a Goofy movie?
No.
Before we jump into until we take it to Extremely Goofy.
Any more fun facts about the Goofy movie?
Oh, wow. So real quick on this one, Bill Farmer mentioned, and then we'll stop it on this one. Bill Farmer mentioned that he took his then 5-year-old son to an advanced screening of the film. Upon exiting the theater, his son was in tears. When asked why he was crying, his son responded with, and I quote, "When Goofy fell off the waterfall, I thought that was you," end quote.
Oh.
Well, I mean, how many times do you think Bill Farmer's done Goofy's voice for his son, at that point? So, yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I hopefully did these all in order here, I hope. And actually, as we go about the movie, this should be all done about order. An Extremely Goofy movie. It came out in 2000. Actually, be very more specific, February 29th, 2000. But not in theaters. It was straight released to VHS.
Yes.
But I think it's a fun movie. Overall, that's how I think it's a fun movie. So
it is.
What is everyone's overall thoughts about an Extremely Goofy movie?
For me, this is a Goofy movie.
It is.
This is front to back, full-on Goofy movie. I mean, yeah, for me, it was like, oh my gosh. When I saw this, when we watched this, I'm like, I like this one the best. And it's just me.
And it was full of cheesy, but I love it. I love how Goofy also was Goofy, because Goofy is like that. He is, even the animation seemed to be more in par with the original. And again, Bill Farmer came back and voiced Goofy. I mean, we had all the same voices.
Yeah.
You know,
And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
And the thing that I liked about this one is a Goofy movie was about Max, but yet an extremely Goofy movie was about Goofy. So I like the way they took it to be about Goofy and all his antics.
Well, and not just his antics, but again, the growing relationship between him and Max, his father and son, as Max going off to college.
Yep.
And then we find out something about Goofy. And of course, he ends up going to college. And it's just it's really awesome to see this change. You know, and we can also see Pete making this change with PJ. And I'm just glad that they showed us that. You know, because we don't. Cheese now, I want a quesadilla. Yeah, Ubaldo, me too.
Yeah.
No, I want a leaning tower of cheese. Ubaldo. But yes, I just thought it was. I like it. Oh, I think it's all. Okay, everyone's gonna have a quesadilla now because even Andrew from Science Fictionary wants a quesadilla. Yeah. So.
But yeah, in this one he's actually Max is actually getting ready to go to college and going, yes, no more dad.
Yeah, right.
Well, this is okay. So, like, as we get into this now, I want to mention something though. So, Goofy is no longer at his portrait photography job, which, by the way, I'd like to make y'all know the portrait studios were still around in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, late 2000s. So you can still find portrait studios around the states. But I was kind of like sad that he was like in a factory type job and not in a portrait studio. But that also lent to the plot point, you know.
Yeah, it did.
Becoming, you know, going to, you know, of making this decision. He didn't want to be in a factory anymore. And he didn't want to do what he did before. And he wanted to become more. So so kudos to Goofy for having the ambition to go back to college.
Oh, yeah.
And even though his son was there, he went back to school. So
yes, he did.
So Goofy.
And the way Goofy dressed to go back to college, I loved the outfit.
Oh my! Well, no, that wasn't his everyday. But I got you on this. I got you on this. That's for sure. So. All right, Scott, what you got next for us?
Okay, I'll actually go ahead and do this.
It's practice.
It is. It most certainly is.
Okay, so we had to have an updated picture, right? So the guys are back. We've got PJ, we got Max, and introducing the Beret Girl, which we'll talk about her next. And then, of course, Bobby. And I love that they all went to college together. And just this attitude that they had in this picture is just, I love it. I love it.
And the coffee beans thing. I love the coffee beans.
The coffee house.
Yeah, I love the coffee house in this one.
I have a question. Would you all go hang out with them at the coffee house?
Yes, I would.
Of course.
I would too. Everybody in the okay, and I think everyone's going to go in the coffee house and go have quesadillas in the chat.
Yeah, I think
everybody. Y'all just hang in there for a few more minutes, or bring your cell phone with us, and you can podcast while you make your quesadilla.
Exactly.
And next photo is a Beret Girl. It's an individual photo of Beret Girl. We actually never really get a name for her. And she ends up being PJ's girlfriend.
Yes, she does.
Okay, for me, and we'll talk about this here because we talked about it at the beginning. So PJ gets a girlfriend. It's Beret Girl. We don't get to see Max. Roxanne's not in the show. Stacy's not in the show. They don't give any love interest, I don't think, for Polly that I can remember. But PJ gets Beret Girl. So, but now I want to step back and talk about Roxanne for a moment, because while they didn't put her in the movie, I think that's very telling to us that I think Max, or they had the character of Max still having feelings for Roxanne, or maybe they still dated even if they didn't really talk about her.
Yeah.
Does that makes sense? Like, and I just have that feeling. Like, I just have that. I've always had that feeling. Even when I watched this movie, I was like, I'm so glad Max did not have a love interest.
Yeah.
I am glad that they gave PJ, the love interest here. Well, him and we'll get there with Goofy later. Okay, it's coming. It's coming.
Yes.
I promise.
Yeah.
I promise you, we're gonna have fun talking about Goofy and that love interest. So I'm
Yes.
glad that they didn't go for one of the main characters. I'm glad that they went with PJ.
Yes.
And her name is Beret Girl, and she's mysterious and chic, and brings a different element to the group.
Yeah.
Now I can't say if her and PJ are together still. No idea.
Yeah. Because at this time, the three of them were working on competing in the X Games.
And the X Games, yep.
So,
Which, of course, due to the fact that by now Disney owns, even in 2000, Disney owned ESPN.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they could use the X Games and all ESPN logos for free.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
And Beret Girl was played by Vicki Lewis, just so we all know. That's who it was played by, is Vicki Lewis. Just to make sure I add that in. And I do know that I did include some X Game photos later. I know that. I'm trying to think if there is anything else with Beret Girl. Now I'm looking to see. I'm like curious. I want to look in the trivia and see if there's anything like from DuckTales.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing. Oh, I should have included a picture of her here. Y'all, I'm gonna put this as much as I can up there. Okay. See that? Oh, wrong one. Huh. There we go.
There you go.
Beret Girl. They're adorable. They're cutie pies.
They are.
They're cute. But I'm not seeing anything further of them being together.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
No, it's probably just a one-off thing.
Maybe.
For this movie,
Maybe.
Unless they decide to make a new movie and include everybody.
Again, I truly believe that, of course, like I said, Roxanne and Max are together, and I can totally see PJ as the god. He's the children's godfather, and like, oh, there's Uncle PJ. Even if they're not brothers, they're brothers.
Right. Oh yeah.
Nicole, have you watched Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas?
Yes.
I think. All right. Because when he brings the lady home, it's not Roxanne.
Well, in my world, it's Roxanne.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Okay. Just wondering.
I love how when PJ first starts talking to her, he's also all eloquent and intelligent and stuff, and Bobby and Max like,
yeah,
right.
Like, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What happened to our friend? Who are you?
Yep.
Why have you changed?
Yep.
It's like, yep, there you go. It was all locked up. You just wait for somebody to unlock it.
Yep.
All right, next photo, because this should get us through the movie. Oh, this is important. We're getting there. We're now getting to the big plot line for the rest of us. Okay. So in the movie, of course, PJ's having to deal with his dad being classes and things like that. And they show up to the library. This is Sylvia.
Yeah.
Isn't she a beauty?
She is.
Sylvia is quite the beauty. Sylvia Marple, who is played by Bebe Newtworth. also known as Miss Marple. Yeah, so she's a librarian. So she is pretty and she's smart.
Yes, she is.
And
And
I just
Well,
love
70s.
I love how they introduced Goofy to her in a library.
Yeah.
Because
and she loves the 70s.
I was gonna say that.
That's
and she loves
coming.
the 70s like Goofy.
Yep. Yes, she does.
Mm.
Which actually this is perfect timing if you want to go to the next photo. You can go right into that because there she is dancing in the 70s. I love that. Okay, and let's make a special note that she looks like, even though she's a dog, she like Goofy. She looks I love the fact that they made her look real.
Right.
Like a real woman.
Mhm.
Gave her curves, gave her a shape, gave her body, and I love it.
Mhm.
And she's beautiful.
Mhm.
And she's rocking. I love when when they take to that floor and she's like, "Come here." I'm like, "Oh, it's on." And actually, again, if you scroll one more, we should have her and Goofy because they are jamming out. I made sure to make sure we had photos of this moment. So in the last movie, my favorite is the Bigfoot scene. But in this movie, it is her and Goofy dancing it out at the disco. Right? And you can see Beret Girl behind them. They're all jamming out. They're all having fun. I love it. Oh, I love how she's looking at him. And yay, she's happy. He's happy.
Right.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. I feel like Goofy finally got his due. You know, finally got what he deserved in this movie. And I love it.
Yes. Even though he was even though he was in the same classes as Max and everything.
Yes.
And Max just couldn't get rid of him.
Well, see, for me, like this, I'll probably jump a little bit ahead. The scene where he's got to crash. Got to crash for do all this stuff for his classes to pass.
Yeah.
That reminded me of Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield from the 80s.
Yeah.
Because there's one point in there where he's got to do, he falls in love with the teacher.
Oh, that's great. I remember. It's been so long since I watched that Rodney Dangerfield movie. I know what you're talking about.
And he's got to do the same thing. He's got to cram for all these this quiz to be able to pass. And that's the same thing Goofy's got to do. So literally, I was getting that same vibe from this, which I love this movie. This movie's freaking hilarious.
It is.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And great throwbacks too. Like right here, again, we're talking about 70s. This is literally throwback to, like Saturday Night Fever. Great throwbacks in not only in this one, but even in the last one, there was a lot of good throwbacks to different stuff there. Either through Goofy movies or through TV shows or even through other movies.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and one of the references she mentions Boogie Duck, and that's actually a direct reference back to a 1970s of Disco Duck.
Yep.
McDonald's.
Yep.
And then there's a moment where she's kissing Goofy. She's pinning down and kissing him a lot with a red lipstick, and that is a very direct thing that both Daisy and Minnie did to both Mickey and Donald.
Yeah.
So it's like Goofy finally got his due. It's like, yes, I think this is what's so important for us though, is like, there's this moment of going, oh my God, if Goofy can be happy, that means we can be happy. Like Goofy got somebody, like maybe I'll get somebody. And anyways, you know what I mean? Like it just, Goofy can do it. Anybody can do it, So,
all right, the next one.
Be ready to move on.
All right, move on.
Unless anybody else has any fun facts they'd like to add in.
Oh my! Here comes the. Yeah.
This Beret Girl did not like him. Mostly nobody liked him.
Nope.
This dude reminded
the
me.
next picture we'll actually see his friends, but this is Bradley Upper Crust the Third.
Yep.
Bradley reminds me of the jocks from
Revenge of the Nerds.
Nerds.
Yep, me too.
Mhm.
I totally 100%
Got
agree.
that vibe all the way through that point. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. And again, I love you included it, but I mean, when we, I know I wasn't here, kind of talking, going to the copy shop, but
Mhm.
the thing was the movies that were labeled on the theater.
Yeah.
The Goof Father.
Yep.
There was one of them, I can't remember them all now, but
I can't either.
it was awesome what they were doing there.
Yeah.
So special note that when I see Bradley and now even this picture in comparison to the photos before, okay, the images,
Mhm.
the cartooning here it's changed. The animation slightly changes.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but there's just missing a little bit of finesse. But at the same time, with Goofy, with his antics, it kind of works because then it kind of reminds me of, it's very nostalgic of what Goofy himself usually did when he would get himself into a bind, so to speak. Literally a bind half of the time. You know, it's Goofy. Of course he gets himself in a bind. So, but of course we got to have Bradley and his minions. That's what I meant to say. Not his buddies. These are not his friends. These are his minions.
Minions, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's for dang sure.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you guys brought it up earlier or not, but in this movie, the one line that really gets me is Bobby, when he's like talking about, do we always wear gloves?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I loved that. Was a really cool callback to just I think Mickey Mouse in general and all the characters that wear gloves. That for no odd reason we wear gloves.
Yeah.
Love it. Gotta protect those fingers. I don't know.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Now we're to the X Games.
Yeah. And the funny thing about the X Games is Max don't want his dad on the team, but yet Bradley gets his dad on the team, and they go to an event, and Bradley cheats.
It's because everybody thinks, everybody's looking at Goofy. I mean, Goofy just happened to step on a skateboard, and Goofy being Goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up, being really good. And Max is now pissed because, his dad's taking his spotlight.
Yeah.
And so, here, you can go play with them. You can be on their team.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But we find out that the reason why this team is number one and been number one for so many years is because they do cheat.
Yeah, exactly. And the interesting thing about this movie is there is a point, and I don't remember, I think it was during the X Games, that you actually see Goofy back with Pete, and Pete's actually giving him some advice, and then he remembers what he gave the boys with, if you want it, go get it, with a horseshoe at the farewell party. So then he goes back and apologizes to Sylvia, and
I love that.
Yeah, he apologizes to Sylvia. And then Sylvia
quits Bradley's team.
Yeah, and quits Bradley's team, and he says, "I'm not going to be a part of your team." And then Bradley says, "What? You're going to be a part of the other team?" He says, "No, I'm not going to be a part of anybody's team." And then he's going up to be a spectator.
Right, but we find out early on, especially in the preliminary round, because Max and the boys did barely scrape by to get in.
Yeah,
and and a lot of it is because Max got obliterated by his father.
Yeah,
and that's because Bradley also cheated too.
Well, yeah,
he didn't go going, but the thing is the fact that here's Max and them barely making it into the finals.
Yeah,
or into the actual game itself.
Yeah, and then Goofy, once he figures out that Bradley and his team is cheating, tries to tell Max, and Max says, "No, he's not."
Max don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Max don't want to hear that.
He thinks Bradley's saying him to do that.
Yeah, and then he finally figures it out when they blast one of the team members into oblivion on one of the events. So, and Bradley's going, "Well, they need 3. They're down to 2. We win." And
yeah, what an underhanded remark too. Yeah. Very underhanded and rude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm glad it worked out. I think there's one more photo of the X Games. I think. Oh no, this is the end. Oh, this is the end.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let's
go back to the X
Games. Okay, so they continue to compete, and Bradley and his minions continue to cheat, And then it comes to where
they pretty much knocks down the big X. It catches on fire. Max and his crew. Max saves the one big dude.
Yeah.
And and they come out, and Bradley's on his way to
the finish line.
And pretty much they get Max going, and Max crosses, and then the big guy is like decides he wants to talk to Bradley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big guy I'm talking about. Let me rewind here, right there. This guy, right? Yeah.
Tank.
And he is actually voiced by I'm trying to think of the actor's name. He was in Everybody Loves Raymond.
His brother, Raymond's brother.
Well, in the show, Everybody Loves Raymond. A second, hi, Glinda, be a good girl.
Brad Garrett.
Yes, Bradley Garrett, who, of course, he would go on to do other things in, with Finding Nemo and stuff. But he was the voice of the big guy.
Yep. And when that X comes down, everybody thought that they lost Max and whoever and Tank, and Goofy's going no, and then out they come. So and end up winning, and then Tank picks up Bradley and scoots him out and says, "Got openings."
Mm-hmm.
And again, Scott made a good point about, of course, the X Games, and of course, the Disney having the rights to the ESPN. So that is also a fun fact in this regard. So, from earlier, for those who are just joining in or listening online. So,
and then after
there's two left, 2 photos.
Yep.
This one is just, this is all Max and Goofy. What a moment. Yep. What an amazing moment. Beautiful. Woo!
I'll get
another amazing, beautiful moment.
Yes. Because Max gives him, because they end up winning the X Games trophy. So Max gives him the trophy, and Goofy says, "This is yours." He says, "No, I've got mine." And he made it specially for Goofy.
Yep.
Had it made specially for Goofy. And Goofy passes with high grades because Sylvia really makes him study.
Yeah. Yeah. He had the right woman on that one.
I did.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
I love
it's a great moment because it's, again, Max realizing his dad didn't do this to outshine him. His dad didn't do none of this. His dad wanted to still be near him.
Yeah.
Right.
And the parents who, once your child hits 18, 19, 20 and they move out of the house, you go through this point of, you're like, wow, what am I going to do now? What's going on? I mean, I would love for my kids to call me every day. But then again, I got to remember too that my mother got lucky to get a phone call once a month and a letter about once every 6 months. She used to give me a hard time. You can write me at least once a week. No, I don't need to write you once a week. If I'm talking to you on the phone once a month, why do I need to even write you?
Yeah.
Once a month.
Because she likes snail mail.
I mean, that was
snail mail.
That was the 90s too. But me and Hannah, and even Colby, I mean, there will be times where 2-3 months go by where we haven't talked to each other, and it's just we all get busy.
Yeah,
everybody's got busy lives, and and the thing is I can relate to Goofy because I know what it's like. When your child does move away, at the beginning you're constantly calling.
Yeah,
you're constantly like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? And then as time goes on, you start, okay, yeah, I can't be that I'm not gonna be that overbearing parent. I'm gonna let them live their life. When they have an issue and they need an answer, they're gonna call me and ask.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And then the final one.
We got I just, this is so happily ever after without officially saying happily ever after. There was another photo where you could see Max in front of the car, but I was like, no, I wanted us to all see. What I felt was Goofy's really happily ever after.
Yeah.
Well,
because it started with Max. He had it, that began it, and then it just continues on with Sylvia. And again, it's so good to see like Mickey and Donald,
Yep.
Goofy finally got his match.
Mhm.
And I love it.
What I loved about this one is Sylvia says something to Goofy,
Or
pretty much
you-
along the lines, "You haven't told him yet."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goofy says no. And Max says what? And he says, I'm gonna be here. I've got a job here at the on campus, and I'll be here every day. And Max goes, no!
I was, I think as a kid, and I definitely thought it this time around. I was waiting for him to go, "Oh, we're getting married," and then they didn't do that. They went that way.
No, I'm with you, Nicole. I actually thought that's where they were going. They're gonna, yeah, we're getting married,
Yeah.
and maybe right at the end there, at the end of the credit. And that's the other thing too, is because now of all the end credit stuff nowadays, I let all these credits roll.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, I need to make sure there's nothing at the end of these things.
Yeah.
Because even though it's the 90s, I mean, who knows if they, if something was ever done. And now it's like,
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Exactly. And then you see him ride off into the sunset in the car.
It was a cute movie.
I'm looking this up. I gotta see. I'm like, did they get married? Okay, so based off of Google, it says Sylvia Goofy Marple. So she is the wife to Goofy and is a former librarian at New York State University.
Nice.
So in some places, it does say. Yeah, that's interesting. But I don't know. I don't know if that's official. That's just based off of what Google says. Who knows if that's true or not? In my world, it's true. Just like Roxanne.
Exactly.
It's true. Okay. Roxanne and Max are still together. Goofy had his happily ever after. Okay. Actually, even if you look up in this one, actually, it says Sylvia Goofy. Yeah, it says it. Yeah, they were married. And she had one spouse named Ronald. Ooh.
Nice, Ron.
Interesting. But Sylvia first met Goofy in September 2011. That's weird. In 2011, and this movie came out in 2001. That's really weird.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this movie was supposed to be ahead of its time, even though technically it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. So technically on the Anderson's Wikipedia, there's the fandom Wikipedia that says that she's married. But let's look at Disney, because let's look at fandom underneath Disney.
Okay.
Because that might say something different. See, on here it doesn't say anything about them being married. Let me go look down a little bit further. Let me get a little bit further and see what happens. Oh my God, so many good photos of her and Goofy. Yeah, I don't have anything about being. If you go on the Disney one, there's nothing about them. But I'm okay if they are. I approve.
Yes.
So, but what a wonderful way to end this movie.
Yes.
It's just cherry on top.
Yep.
Yeah, and his credits rolling. Excuse me. We get a great 80s song called "The Future So Bright." Guy wears shades. Come to find out, it was actually sung by Pat Benatar, which they obviously changed one of the lyrics in there because as soon as I have it, I went, "Excuse me, no, that lyric's been changed. Thanks a lot."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The part where buy a lot of beer, things are going great.
Yeah.
But only get better.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was really shocked when I found out it was Pat Benatar, because usually I recognize Pat Benatar right off the bat. And I like, who the hell is singing this? I really didn't know it was Pat until they got down into the credits and said Pat Benatar. And I'm like, whoa, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But I brought it over here real quick because. Oh, because the original artist was Tim Buck3.
Yeah.
And they, again, it was really great having that song there. again, music wise for both these movies, really awesome.
It was.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you can definitely, a lot of the song. I mean, obviously, we didn't even talk about this. You know, we talked about the Sasquatch dancing, but we didn't talk about was in the first one when he put on the headphones, it was "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, you know, some great throwback songs, you know, from the 70s and 80s, but even some great original songs
Yeah.
in them, you know, from that era. The only thing I wish, and this is just Scott personally, I wish they would use from the Mickey Mouse Disco album the song "Watch Out for Goofy."
Yeah.
That's just me.
Mhm.
It's not. It didn't change my opinion on these movies because one song wasn't used, or even like, you know, every time we were talking about like Roxanne in the first one, I was really hoping to hear a version of Roxanne, you know, by the Police or
Yeah.
something. Whatever, you know, didn't happen. Big deal.
Yeah.
It didn't change my opinion of these movies. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the hell out of them.
Oh, I
These
did
movies
too.
were great.
Yeah.
And it was fun to rewatch them years later because I had seen them years ago, but it was just fun to rewatch them years later.
Agreed. It was fun.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
really good movies. Mhm.
Yeah.
and the fact that, you know, this is the first time I ever watched them, and I enjoyed them,
You enjoyed them.
Good.
and I highly recommend them.
I did too.
I mean, I guess on this we ought to just give how many perfect casts do you give both these movies?
5.
Mhm. Yeah. 5.
I
Two
know-
gloves.
Yeah.
2 gloves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, these were great movies, and they're great teaching moments too for younger kids.
Mhm.
Well, and not only for younger kids, but also if you look at an extremely goofy movie, it's
Mhm.
also it also teaches even adults that you're never too old to go back to school and
Yes.
further your education.
Sure.
Yep.
Mhm.
Agreed. There's definitely there are deeper meanings into this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking from an adult side, I mean, even from an adult side, you can look at this and go, you know, you can look at how Goofy handles certain things as a parent.
Yeah.
And, you know, do you see yourself doing some of those same things where, you know, well, maybe that's not how you should do it. You know,
Mhm.
you should have handled it, you know, handle this situation differently or whatnot. And maybe it might help even young parents, you know, watch this movie now and go, okay, well, this is something I need to watch for. It's
Mhm.
amazing how Disney does this type of stuff, where
Mhm.
they will put meaning, you know, these scenes where you're expecting this funny movie, but at the same time you're grabbing life themes out of it.
Yeah, you are.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I think Disney does really well.
Yeah.
Or at least, back in the day, at least they've done really well. Whoops.
You lost your mic.
Mhm.
Now I won't say it.
No, this is not an after dark show.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is
Not this time, anyways.
Mhm.
All right. Well, should we start cruising towards next Sunday? So Hannah can go watch a Goofy movie now.
Yes.
And I'm saying cruising to next Sunday for a reason. I mean, who's ready to get their motors running?
I
Get the motor
am.
running.
That's what
Head
happens
on the
when
highway.
Tim gets started.
Mhm.
For adventure.
Mhm.
Because we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back and American Graffiti. Thank you again to Ubaldo, however many months ago that was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Disney it's been a fun summer with Disney. And
It
we're
has.
now we're ready to kind of go back to a couple other movies.
What I love about this is it started out to be a Disney month and it became Disney summer.
I love
Summer.
it.
Mhm.
Almost. We almost made it through summer because technically it's September 23rd. But right now it's time to kind of shift gears
Okay.
a little bit.
How about the school summer?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
That sounds good.
Because I mean, I know high schools around here are back in school already.
Yeah, they are.
Hope they're enjoying the 110 and 111 degrees weather in their school.
Well, hopefully their ACs are working.
That is the one thing. If their AC does not work, They get the day off.
Yeah, they do.
Ubaldo has a wonderful idea, a suggestion that is to watch the movie and have a quesadilla.
There you go.
Love it.
There you go. They can say always. Well, we're happy to help you get through dishwashing.
Yep, glad to help you. All
But yeah,
right.
American Graffiti next week.
Yes.
A week from today.
Yes.
A week from today. American Graffiti.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Oh.
I can't either. I mean, it's a really a who's who cast.
It is.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Again, to have conversations. Again, tomorrow night it premieres on After the Weekend.
Yes.
And then of course we're gonna be doing it. We're gonna do our own thing on Sunday. So I'm excited because I know that I think we've already talked about some stuff that we'll see. I don't know if they'll talk about it, but there'll be a few things I'm sure that will vary. So make sure you check us both out. So
Yes.
And before we go, anybody else got any fun or fun facts about either movie that we missed or that you want to throw out there?
Not as I know of.
All right,
no,
well,
but before we go though, Jennifer, where can everybody find you on social media?
Okay, on Instagram and Twitter. Oh, well, X now. You can find me at Peace Love Disney. Disney Ball Rock, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Facebook, you can just type in Peace Love Disney, and that will be it.
Yeah, it's an excellent Facebook page. It's a very positive
is.
Disney page.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Yep.
Definitely very positive.
We got 83,000 followers right now, so
Nice.
yay.
Where's my applause button? I've lost my applause button.
So come check us out.
I have a real one. It's not an AI one. It's real.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh well, we'll do it. We'll get this.
Here's the applause.
Yeah, real applause. That was as good as 83,000. I would probably die. But yeah. But until next week, make sure you guys go follow Jennifer. Jennifer, regardless, Twitter, Instagram,
X.
Yeah.
Twitter.
X. I'm always
Twitter.
going to say Twitter.
I am too.
X Twitter. It's X Twitter.
Yeah.
There you
There
go.
we go. X Twitter.
Yeah. And Facebook.
That sounds dirty.
I know, right?
on X, on Instagram, and also the Peace Love Disney page on Facebook.
Facebook, yep. Definitely.
Yes.
Thank
Also, you guys want to have a lot of shenanigans. We are 2 episodes
Two.
away from finishing Rebels season 4.
Yep.
Those are on Thursday nights
And
on our Discord.
10 o'clock Eastern time.
As we prepare for Ahsoka.
Yep.
Yes.
And then next week will be my last show.
No.
Yep.
2. 2.
Next week's my last.
2 more.
It's 2.
You got the 13th and then the one after
What the
that.
hell's today?
Today's only the 6th.
I'm like, no, because we've talked about the other one. So I'm like, no, 2. 2, and that's not a peace out. It's a 2.
Yeah, because today's the 6th, so you got the 13th
Uno,
and the
dos.
20th. So
Or we'll just go Uno.
Uno, dos. We have something special planned though. Or dos. And I'm sure everybody will want
Anyways,
to hear for
the 27th. This is what I want to get to. The 27th, the episode on the 27th. You guys, our fans, get your questions in. Ask Kim and Nicole anything and everything you want because they're going to do a Q&A show.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all about these are our favorite things because Kim and we both love musicals.
yes.
So we're gonna do a fun. I'm so excited, and don't worry, we're still gonna get to Brave. It's just gonna be the following week. So
It is.
And again, like I said earlier on, if there's anything they do while I'm gone that I want to touch on, I will do Patreon only video. So, and that's at the $5 range
So
of
if
our
you,
Patreon.
so if you want to hear Scott's take on any of the
But
topics,
you can wait until you
Nic-
find out I'm back.
on any of the topics that we will be discussing while he's gone, subscribe to our Patreon $5 tier, and you'll be able to hear his views on
Actually,
them.
no, I'll take that back. You know, while I'm gone, I will post things here and there on Patreon.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will either do a short little video from my phone or whatnot, but yeah.
To get access to those short little videos, just subscribe to our Patreon at $5 level. You'll be able to access those.
Maybe some crazy things with me and my grandkids or whatnot.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
until
All right.
next week, I am Scott.
I am Kim.
I'm Nicole.
Jennifer.
Yeah, that's Jennifer.
Peace, love, and Disney. Also, pretty much a she might as well be a co-host of this show now.
Might as well be an honorary co-host.
At least for the Disney shows.
Yeah, an honorary co-host for anything Disney.
We are
There you go.
We are used to views. We hope you all have a great week, great weekend. What's left of it?
Don't forget this one.
There's our unofficial mascot,
There's our
everyone.
mascot,
Elfie.
yes, Elfie. And be kind to everyone. And until next week, I am never ready.
No, you're not. Anyway,
Here we go. Peace.
peace.
Oh, and Nicole wants to. Okay.
Please get your shit together.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.